used to pray that I told the truth. It got me down bad that I ain't still with you. Let me take this time now to write this letter to you and apologize, babe, for what I put you through.
Tonight we're gonna be talking about role play. You know, what's the what should men do or what should women do in a relationship? You know, it can be.
Yeah, you laugh.
Guys.
He already started.
Hey, hold on. He on our side now. All right,
yeah. So we really want to discuss it. We want to get to a point of solution. You know, we don't want to point fingers and say, well, this is not being done. So if we recognize certain things aren't being done, what can we do to meet halfway? You know, what can we do to, resolve, make the relationship better? You know, because it's one of those situations. It's not discussed enough. And it's a continuation of, well, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Things going bad in a relationship. Well, I'm not gonna do this no more. So we're gonna get into it with that. All right. So this your boy S. Dot. We're Rock Visual Experience. We have the man himself, Rock Visual. Featuring we have 3 guests tonight. Miss Utisha Spencer and Adriana. So our topic tonight is role play. We're going to discuss what we should do in regards to, men fulfilling their duty and women fulfilling their duty in a relationship. Who should take out the trash? Who should wash the dishes? Who should cook? All those things. Is the relationship a customized relationship where we have an understanding that, okay, well, you made it home, make sure you do this or that, So we're going to get into it and have all, a discussion about that. All right. So,
yep.
So like, what S. Dot talking about role play, like it just kind of, when you bring that up, it's a lot of, I ain't gonna say argument, but it's a lot of debate. So like, I was just scrolling through some old videos we did, and actually Friday night, and I never posted, but we talked about like one. That's why I wish Ed was on, because one of the things he was hitting on about being in a relationship or a marriage, like he feels that everything should be 50-50. Everything straight down the middle, 50-50. Some people might roll with that, yeah. Some people might, roll with, like, I hear people saying, I pay the mortgage or the rent, and then, the wife or the girlfriend, they pay the small bills and stuff like that. Like, pretty much I want to, like, what's your outtake on that? Because that was one of the biggest issues, like, biggest debates we was having on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's no such thing as 50-50. They say it too much. Because each person should put in 100%. No matter who pays the most bills or not, y'all still in the same household. Everybody has responsibilities. Both parties have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, people used to say 50-50, and then it's an argument. Everything is split down the middle. Right. But I just feel that it's 100% on both sides.
What's your take on that, man?
My intake on that, being that, I watched how my father took care of the household. Mm-hmm. The man supposed to, take care of the big bills, make sure the house is in order for the wife to make it a home,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me personally, I cook, clean, I wash dishes, do all that stuff. So as a man, I want to make things easier for her, and vice versa. You learn how to work together versus against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's why a lot of relationship marriages do not last, but everybody in competition with each other. Mm-hmm. It's sad.
That's why it shouldn't be 50-50. Everybody, both parties should have 100% of responsibilities being done. Same thing. My dad took care of the household as far as bills and stuff. What my mama couldn't pay, what my mama couldn't do, she took care of the smaller stuff and made sure the house was set, and make sure the kids was good and all that. and made sure that he was good when he came home from a hard days of work.
Mhm.
However, bills were paid, water was still on, lights was still on. They had downtimes, but they had their downtimes together, and they make up for that. So 50-50, I don't think there's no such thing as 50-50.
So
Because then again, you putting more responsibility on the other person.
now we're going. So what if we got a situation where you have women, you know, because I mean, nowadays you have more women that has ownership, you know, when it comes to, you know, more women are working now and they're making more money, you know, than average now, you know.
Well,
So,
I'm going to
see?
chime in on this part. I'm glad you brought that up because that was what I was going to say.
Right.
So again, like Spencer and Tisha, my parents were the traditional parents, come from a 2-parent household. My dad took care of most of the bills. However, my mother was college educated and had a career of her own. Even though she made money as well, my dad did take on a larger role when it came to the finances. But my mother took on the bigger role when it came to the actual home. So she took care of us, went and got groceries and things like that, and paid for like maybe a cable bill, her car note, her car insurance, or something like that. But that was their agreement. And so we have to always go back to every relationship is different. People are different. So just because that worked for you doesn't necessarily that's going to work for me or anybody else that's down the line. Then we have to also, you know, bring in all these other outside things that attribute to our relationships as far as marriages. Like you said, Antoine, now we have more women out here who are making more or the same as men. I mean, 40, 50, 60 years ago, that was unheard of. You know what I'm saying? Especially early 1800s, going into the early 1900s, women didn't even have rights to vote or to work, any of those things, except for housekeeping jobs and maybe taking care of kids. That's it. So we do have to consider that society has shifted. So relationships will have to shift because humans have to shift. We have to adapt to the new things that are going on in our society, what's going on in the world. So yeah, I feel that roles are important to a certain degree, but we have to be realistic about those roles. The roles that our grandparents and our parents and our great-grandparents had, they don't fit our new society. They don't fit in these new marriages, these new relationships. And then now we have to start thinking about our unconventional relationships when we talk about same-sex marriages, same-sex partnerships. Well, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a lot of different things that we have to consider here other than just role play. Role play, man, woman, and what they should be doing and what they should not be doing. So for me, I always think realistically, even though I want to go back to how I was raised, what my mother told me, how a lady should operate in a marriage, how she should act as a woman out in the world. I also have to be realistic that that was 1950s, 60s. I'm living in the early 21st century in 2022, where I make my own money. I'm raising my 3 kids by myself. I've bought my own car. Like, there was no man there that did all these things for me. I'm not saying that I didn't want that. I wanted that in my marriage, but it just didn't happen. But that didn't mean that I was not going to stop becoming successful or not being able to take care of my children. So with that being said, I feel like when we talk about this now, when we have these discussions, we have to think about all the other things that surrounds this, of why maybe this man may be paying 50-50 or 80-20 or whatever the agreement is that you have with your partner.
Right. And it's all based and everything you're saying, see, so that's why we're having this discussion, because it's all based on, agreement, right? And I call an agreement customizing your relationship, because that's the era we in. We're not in a traditional, it's not in a traditional situation that we're accustomed to, what we used to, or what we known of the past to be. I just like watching sports. I mean, it's evolved, so I was going to bring something up about, let's say you have a woman that's making 6 figures in the house, but you have the, significant other probably making about 60, 70,000, I mean, so, cause he's a man, he's supposed to pay most of the bills, so you see how that, so, I mean, do you make sense of?
No, it does make sense. But then let's go back to what I also said, that she can make that 6 figures and he could be making that 60 or 70,000. But like I said, it depends on that couple. She may very well have no qualms about paying all the bills and him doing what he can. You know what I'm saying? Or she may actually still be a traditionalist at heart and say, yeah, I mean, make all this money, but you're the man and I need you to be the provider. And I'm here to support you. So whatever you can't, do, okay, my income is here to do that. If we have children, then I expect for you to take off your job and go to the school for a parent teacher conference. You know what I'm saying? So I think
everything is based upon agreement now. It's based upon, you just got to make sense of
whatever they agree on, it makes sense for them and it's comfortable for them. So even if she makes the most money, if she chooses to pay the bigger bills and he handles everything else, that's a part of the agreement. It's still 100%. Nothing is 50-50.
It's not exactly. You're working together.
But some relationships can't even come up with that agreement.
Right, because the egos get tested.
Exactly.
The man feels intimidated because his woman makes a lot more money. Right. My sister was married to a man like that. They had the same job, but she had more seniority and made more money. Your mind is on making more money than you worrying about this marriage and how we're gonna get through this together. So what did he do? He stepped out. I mean, she wasn't gonna dumb down her career for him.
No, she's supposed to.
He met her in that career. So I mean, that's bad. But you just got some people, they let their egos get in the way.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, but do you feel like when someone make more, do you feel like it could be either men or women? Do you feel like they throw that in their partner's face? You know what I mean?
If they do, that can be the cause of it.
Yeah, because all that comes with controlling. So women, remember, all that money, they can kind of control the others. But I do X, Y, Z. I buy this, I buy that. Now I'm out. Keep your money. I go ahead back where I came from.
And I feel that men are more intimidated if a woman make more money than them.
Yes, they are.
I feel like men, even if it's not financially, I just feel like men, not all men. So let me make that clear, that some men are just more intimidated by a very secure woman anyway. I don't want to say strong. I hate using that, a strong woman. I mean, I feel like all of us are strong and we have to be strong at some points in our lives. But a secure woman, I feel that some men can be intimidated by that, no matter if she's making 30,000 or 300,000. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that at the end of the day, like Antoine said, it's the agreement. When you meet that person, have y'all really sat down and had these deep conversations? Like, have y'all had these? And sometimes these conversations aren't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to, if you meet somebody and you've been dating for a couple of months and it's getting serious and you're thinking about, oh, this might be the person, it may be very uncomfortable for you to start asking that person, like, about their finances. How's your credit? How do you manage your money? What are your take on, like you said, roles? Right. A man role and a woman's role. So it's just like you said, when it comes to relationships, I found through my marriage and then going through divorce, the best advice I can ever give somebody is communication. You have to be someone who is able to express yourself and communicate. You cannot just assume. You can't sit there and think, oh, well, it's just going to get better. Like, you really have to have those tough conversations. Everything is not going to be rosy. So some of these conversations are just going to be really tough. So when it comes to roles, it's the same thing. It's just all about the two people that are involved communicating what their expectations are.
But what if someone step out of pocket? You know what I mean? You know, they're making the money, you know, they want the sense of control, you know, and they step out of pocket and don't give, you know, the better half no respect at all, because that happens all the time. That what causes them to break up.
I think when that happens, it's because they probably feel a lot of pressure.
What kind of pressure?
They might feel that person ain't doing enough. You know what I'm saying? But that's when communication comes in. You got to communicate. Let me know what the problem is. Let me know what the issue is so we can fix it.
But you could still have someone, you know, all the communication in the world, you still can express certain things, but they still step out of pocket. They still tend to step out of pocket. I've been in the situation.
Well, okay, but
experience.
Then with that certain situation, that person's not for you. Right. You have to be, now you have to come to the realization, take the blinders off. And you're just going to have to, even though, you know, you may feel this certain way about that person.
But it took for that individual to run into money, you know, to show their true colors.
Yeah.
But what they say, money is the root of all evil. And that person, and I've learned this through my experiences in life, that person that you now see, that has always been that person.
That person, right?
That person just had on a mask that whole time. They were just putting on the front the whole time.
Okay, so who tends to put on the mask more, men or women? Who tends to put that mask on when it comes to
that? You want me to see?
Both.
I think I'm with Spencer. I think both, but I feel that we as women, we do it better.
That's what I wanted to get at. Not trying to attack, you know, women. I just, because I feel like I've seen men with my own two eyes, evolved, having businesses and all this stuff, and the situation ain't changed. You know, they relationship actually gotten better. But I've seen more situations when the women, tend to dominate. They made it come up and then the relationship go to hell. You know, that's my analysis.
Well, I think that's because now you have to think about who we are as men and women. So in that situation, because you got to remember, biologically, men are supposed to be stronger. You're the providers. I mean, that's just how the creator made you. You were supposed to be the providers, the ones who are the protectors. So biologically, that's ingrained in each and every man. So when you have a woman that now that role is reversed, and now she is now more thinking like a man, and now she's the protector, she's the one who's providing, that could, to me, I'm not a man.
How she's protecting? Because she's making more money, she's protecting.
The ones
she can afford for you to be
someone breaking the house. I don't care if she be making $1 million. If someone breaking their house, the man has the physical strength to manage that situation.
No, man. You got some tough women out here.
Yeah, you do. But it's more like when I think about that, what he just said about when women getting like more money and empowered. I feel like relationship goes sour. Like I say, it all depends on the man she's dealing with. But like most men, I ain't gonna say most, but some men look at it like, you know, they was always maybe in control or always made the most money. She never did nothing, blah, blah, blah. But when she get up there, it's like, well, damn, you know, she don't, like some people like think like, well, she don't need me no more. Or you know, she can do what she want to do. I mean, she ain't got to fall back on me no more. Like, she don't need me no more. You know how some people think like she always gonna need me. You know how some men think. But I think some relationships maybe go sour because of that too. Maybe.
I definitely agree with you. From personal experience, I'll let you know. Dating for me after divorce was disastrous, and it's still disastrous because I've had several men who flat out told me, like, I feel like I can't do anything for you. So, and I'm just like, what? But they are more thinking on the lines of finance. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't even make that much money. But I think because they saw that I already have a home set up, my children are being cared for, I'm not asking for you to pay bills. I'm not asking you to give me money. They just felt like, I don't know what else I could do for you other than that. To me, that's sad because it's so much more that a man can do for me than money.
Several of those men is just, you think it's just strictly by finances? You don't think it's about other?
I think just like what Jason said, it's just, he just thinks that it's just some men, maybe that's just their insecurities or their maybe trauma from their past. I don't know, where they feel their ego, where they feel like if this woman can't be dependent on me, then I don't know what I can offer her.
Wow.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100. Some men don't know how to be men anymore, you know. Some men, they don't think on their own. Some men think women just want things materialistically just because they can't provide or match a woman's finances. It's not all about that. A man can tell a female, hey, you know, I don't make what you make. I can't be with you. I don't care how much you make. At the end of the day, your money is your money. My money is my money.
Right.
So whenever we get married and come as one, everything is as one. That's when we're going to balance out all our finances, everything to the household, everything. Even when it comes down to the kids, no argument, none of that. Because like I said, some men has pride. Some men just ain't had a father in their life, the father figure. And some did. And even the ones that didn't have the father figure grew up to be a better figure than what their father was in their life growing up.
Right. So true. So true.
And I think because of the breakdown, especially Black families, because the breakdown of strong foundations of the Black families, the strong ties have been broken down from generation. That plays that attributes to it probably like freaking 95% of why we are having this discussion tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have a strong foundation, especially when it comes to raising your children and things like that, then we wouldn't have all of these. Yeah, life throws these curveballs because that's just life. But some of the things that we're talking about now, I feel like we really probably shouldn't even really be having this conversation. If things were just the way that, if we had these strong families and these strong, especially Black families, because I'm an advocate for that. And I can only speak to that because, you know, I'm a African-American woman. I just feel we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And just like Spencer said, most of the men that I've dealt with, fathers are absent or they have very strained relationships with them.
Do I cross your mind? Do you think sometime? Do you? If we pray